Hello, it's Yang Vang. I'm with Create Results, Realtor at Create Results. I have a few questions from my clients, so I want to come here introduce you to Edson. He will answer some of the questions that you are wondering about. So Edson, introduce yourself.
Hi Yang, thanks for having me. My name is Edson. I am a loan officer here at Johnson Financial Group, Johnson Bank. We're located on 43rd and National in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Right, so I have some clients that want to ask you, what is WHEDA?
Oh, that's a good question, Yang. WHEDA is a state agency program that is available for those for affordable loan programs with assistance with down payments.
All right, and does WHEDA have a 0% down loan program?
You know what? WHEDA does not necessarily have a 0% down payment, but we can structure it where it does become a 0% down payment. So WHEDA offers down payment assistance on top of their first mortgage, which will essentially make it a 0% down payment. WHEDA can make it a 0% down payment if we pair it with their down payment assistance that they offer. WHEDA has a first mortgage, and then we can do a second mortgage to essentially make it a 0% down payment. Now, your two options for that is, it's called Easy Close, okay? WHEDA offers up to 6% of your purchase price, and there's a monthly payment added to that. The second option is Capital Access, okay? Capital Access allows you to get up to $7,500 for either your closing costs or your down payment. The difference between that one and the first one I spoke to you about of the Easy Close is that there is no monthly payment on that one. That one is paid back once you sell your home or refinance or you do away with your first mortgage.
Any other information that you can provide?
Yeah, well, I always get asked by clients, which one would you take? Which one would you prefer? Between the two, again, it's Capital Access or Easy Close. There are some pros and some cons to each of those. You know, the pros to the down payment assistance of Easy Close provides a larger amount because it's up to 6% of the purchase price, and that we can use for your down payment and or your closing costs. And it helps you with a larger amount. The con to that, again, would be that we have to add a monthly payment to your debt to income ratios. Now, the pros and cons to the Capital Access is there's no monthly payment on that one, and the con to that, it's a lower amount.
Okay. What about like USDA loans? Anything you can share with that?
Yeah, well, we do offer USDA loans. The thing that I would say between the two would be that USDA is 100% finance available, but the difference is between that and the WHEDA is that the USDA loans are more for designated rural areas, where WHEDA could be more or less any county in Wisconsin. So you'll have a bigger, broader footprint of where you can use WHEDA opposed to the USDA loans. USDA loans is 100% financing. You still will have to cover your closing costs, but it is designated in specific rural areas for that loan program.
Let's go back to the WHEDA again. When I about the 0% down. Sometimes I will hear agents says, "Oh, 0% down." If I'm a buyer, I would think, "Oh, that's really great." But then there's a catch to that, right? There's also the closing costs, correct?
Yeah, there is. Keep in mind that when you're out mortgage loan shopping, you nailed it. There's closing costs and then there's down payment. Those are two separate buckets that, as a client, need to be, met. The requirement needs to be met. So there's always going to be your down payment and your closing costs. And again, the WHEDA down payment assistance if we can stretch it long enough, we could take care of both of those things for you. Each applicant's requirement and in case is a little bit different, but in most cases, if we can take care of both things for you, we'll stretch that so it can cover your down payment and your closing costs. But in some cases, it might cover one or the other too.
Hey, good to know. Thanks, Edson. I think that's pretty much for now. Do you have any other information that you want to say before we?
Well, absolutely. What I can tell you that is there is no one size fits all in every client's needs. But the best thing to do is come and sit down with a professional like yourself or myself on, when it comes to real estate needs. So for those that would like more information, feel free to give me or Yang a call. I can be reached at 414-220-0158, and Yang could be reached at 414-388-2666.
All right, thank you, Edson.
Thank you, Yang.
In order to be ready and prepared to buy a home, as a loan officer, what do you suggest buyers should do?
As far as getting prepared is knowing, what your options are, meeting with a professional, a lender, a real estate agent. But for the most part, it's going to entail having your financial documents ready. What does that mean? It's going to be W-2s, tax returns, pay stubs, bank statements. We like to look at that all up front, so that way we can, in exchange, give you a very solid pre-approval. Once you have that pre-approval, then you can definitely start searching for homes with, your realtor.
And is this true? Because some of my clients, they come to me and then they get into a issue because they don't co-sign with anyone to buy a car or a home if you are going to buy a home, correct? Because that's going to affect you, right?
Yes, absolutely. That's another good question, Yang. Keep in mind that when you co-sign for someone, you are assuming the responsibility.
Okay.
So if you co-sign for your son or if you co-sign for a family member, the day they do not make the monthly payments, you are going to be responsible, and that carries debt on your end.
Okay.
So we always recommend it's best not to co-sign, as it can affect you when you're trying to purchase a home.
And what about opening a credit card, canceling a credit card? What are your tips, advice on that?
Each case is a little bit unique and different, but for the most part, when you want to apply for a mortgage loan, it's very important that you keep your credit utilization low, which means don't go opening new credit cards if you don't need to. Keep those balances low. We also don't recommend you closing them. There's a difference between closing them and leaving them at a zero balance.
Okay.
Anytime you close them, it could be impactful to your credit score.
If I have a low credit score, what's the lowest here to get pre-approved?
At Johnson Bank, we offer conventional financing. Majority of my loan programs require a 620 or higher credit score.
Okay.
We do have a program or two that could go a little bit under the 620 if need be, which is an alternative loan program that we do offer. But for the most part, we like to see a 620 or higher for your conventional loan program.
What if I am under 620? I want to fix my credit. Any advice for my clients?
Yeah. Well, what we do is we are not a credit agency, but with our expertise and our experience, when we look at something, we will definitely give you some recommendations and suggestions as to how to maybe reestablish or maybe work on establishing new credit. But those are definitely some of the perks when coming and meeting with us, so we can take a look at your whole overall picture.
All right, I think that's pretty good, Edson. Thank you, and once again, this is Yang Vang with Create Results. I'm a realtor and working in the Milwaukee and surrounding areas, and this is my partner bank,
Edson from Johnson Financial Group, Johnson Bank.
Right. If you have any questions, feel free to call me or Edson. My number again is 414-388-2666, or my email is yengvnncr@gmail.com. And Edson, can you provide again your phone number and email?
Sure. You can contact me at 414-220-0158. That's 414-220-0158. And my email address is my first initial E with my last name, EMARQUEZ @johnsonfinancialgroup.com.
All right, thank you, Edson.
Thank you, Yang.
All right, have a good day.